Welcome to the BoshNRoll channel. If you want to support my daily Eternal Magic offerings while getting amazing perks like the BoshNRoll Discord community, have me play your deck on the channel, or listen sideboard guides before tournaments, check out the Patreon or YouTube membership program. This channel is possible because of these amazing sponsors. Check them out, all their links are in the video description. As always, thanks for being here. Let's go play some Magic. Welcome back to the BoshNRoll channel. Today I'm playing Legacy, and I've been given a brew challenge from Patreon subscriber Something Snazzy. In the past on the channel, I have played Cascade RHINOS, where the goal of the deck is to cascade into 8 power early and often. I've also played Cascade Beans, where the goal of the deck is to have as many Beanstalks as possible. You have both the Beanstalks themselves and the ability to cascade into them. And there was a bunch of conversation in my YouTube comments and in my Discord about what if we sideboard out the Crashing Footfalls and sideboard in up the Beanstalk for grindy control matchups? Or the opposite, what if we sideboard out up the Beanstalk into Crashing Footfalls for matchups where we have to go fast? Because the architecture in both of the decks is basically the same. And then Something Snazzy showed up and was like, why don't you just do both in the main deck? And the rest is up to me. I was just tasked with play 4 up the Beanstalks, 4 Crashing Footfalls, and cascade into them. Luckily, like I said, I've played a lot of decks that are like this in the past, and I had a pretty good framework. I took my Cascade Beanstalk deck that I brewed. I took the Cascade RHINOS Elemental deck from subscriber of Landrick that I've played on the channel a couple of times now, and I just tried to hybridize them together as much as I could. I'm going to be honest. I think what we're going to find out is that we have made both decks worse by confusing the plan. I think there will be spots where I really want to put 8 power into play and I end up drawing a card instead. I think there will be spots where I need to dig for something to do, like against combo or whatever, like I need more action, and I'm going to hit 2 irrelevant 4/4s and just die. I think those spots will come up. However, I'm not afraid of a challenge, and I think we're going to get some sweet games too, where sometimes I hit a Beanstalk, sometimes I hit a Footfalls. Maybe my opponent will have Flusterstorm, but I hit this enchantment instead of the sorcery. Maybe they'll have a Hull Breacher and I hit 4/4s instead of draw a card. Who knows? Anything could happen. We have mixed it up, diluted the consistency and efficiency of the Cascade spells, but we have improved the levels the deck can play on, I guess. I don't know. Let's get into it. This is Something Snazzy's Crashcade Beans. I'm on the play in round 1, and I've revealed my Yorion. I can suspend 1 Rhino, play a Beanstalk, that Shardless Agent. Let's go. We're doing the thing. And this is something that Something Snazzy pointed out when I was sent this challenge, is that a control deck doesn't mind so much waiting 4 turns for its Cannon Rhinos. Uh-oh. I'm just getting Chromoxed out of the game. Okay, some Goblins. Rabblemaster, I could fire that. I'm pretty worried about the follow-up here, but I can at least kill the Rabblemaster, which is not a given. If I can survive to a place where I can get some Rhinos into play, they're pretty good in this matchup. Firing the Rabblemaster right now, before they can do anything tricky about it. And we're immediately faced with a spot where, if this Shardless Agent was guaranteed to hit Rhinos, I would actually feel reasonably stable. I mean, if they go insane with a million Goblins this turn, I'm just dead. But I would rather put 10 power and toughness into play here than draw a card. And it's not even close. Oh, second name sticker Goblin. 5 mana total. Matron. And with Prospector, they have 7 mana here. If they want to just grab Muxus. Unless there's something better to do. And even just some Haste Lord would be pretty devastating here, like Goblin Chieftain. Okay, they're going for the Gusto, rather than the Nuts and Bolts play. They do have to sacrifice most of this board that they just worked for and play the Muxus. They're actually living out the Family Guy meme. The Muxus could be anything, even a board full of Goblins, after they just sacked a board full of Goblins to play Muxus. They were rewarded, though. They get 2 Tutors and, again, a board full of Goblins. They have 5 mana available right now, if they're willing to delete everything. Tutored and Name Sticker Goblin. That can turn 3 random Goblins into minimum 5 mana, because it'll make 4, then they can sack it. Oh, they went for the Chieftain now. That's the thing I said the first time. There's the name sticker. There's the Chieftain. Muxus does hit harder than the rest of that board, so maybe taking the scenic route was fine, but they were pretty fortunate to hit 2 matrons there and be able to do this. Okay, I'm at 3. Probably about to concede the game. Yeah, there's nothing I can remove here to stay alive, and even if I do hit the RHINOS, they have lethal around them. Okay, dumpstered by a much faster deck. That's going to happen sometimes when you're a Yorion deck of any variety. Bring in my Furies. I don't think I want any of the other cards. Force of Negation, not that important. Teferi Time Raveler, not that important either. It pitches to Force and Solitude. That's the best thing Teferi has going on. Maybe Lauren Revealed is worse than Teferi. Yeah, I think pitching to Solitude actually is super relevant for the matchup. Because remember, if Namesticker Goblin dies before its trigger, it doesn't make any mana. Okay, can a RHINOS removal spell? This looks just like the last game. Do I mulligan to something better, or do I accept the fact that I have any removal at all and be pretty happy about it? I think I mulligan. Okay, I have a Solitude and a Beanstalk. I will keep this and bottom Boseiju. Give this a try. Rockern Triome and pass. I can just play a Natty Beanstalk next turn, and I am going to let the Rabblemaster make a Goblin here. I'd rather draw a card off Beanstalk and give them 1 token than not draw any cards. Cool. Another Solitudes. Welcome. I have to get a green source here. There's not a Bayou in the deck for full domain. I settle for a Tropical Island, I guess. Up the Beanstalk. Fury. Okay, I mean, someday. Cavern of Souls. That's not how I'm interacting. Matron. Okay. Have a look. What do you got? Name sticker. Okay, I'm gonna act before combat here. I have to decide now if I pitch Solitude to Solitude and then guarantee a play next turn with Ardent Plea, or do I pitch Ardent Plea to Solitude and have 2 removal monsters in my hand? And with Yorion, I can guarantee action on Solitude next turn. Okay, I am going to exile the Ardent Plea. Leyline Binding, even better. Get rid of this Rabblemaster. Okay, Leyline Binding costs 2 right now, which does remove the name sticker Goblin. Yeah, I'm just going to play this Plains and pass the turn. I'm not going to wish for Yorion, because the Leyline Binding already stuffs their turn, as far as I know. Here's the Goblin in response to the trigger. Leyline Binding. Draw a card. Another Beanstalk. We're doing it. Eat this before it knows how to do anything. They get to attack me for 2. We're approaching mana to hardcast Solitude and Fury, which is the sweet spot. That's the kill zone where I actually start doing stuff. Oh, nice. I can Cascade, try to get some RHINOS right now. I could play the Beanstalk I already have and lock up Ardent Plea to cast Solitude if I need that. I think that's the safest thing to do. Up the Beanstalk. I'm going to save my land drop in case I find a fetch land that could get me to domain, and I didn't. It's okay. I have a red card for Fury or a white card for Solitude, and whichever one I don't use is a pitchable thing, or is a Cascade thing. They're both pitchable, and they're both Cascade payoffs. Uncounterable Matron, you got it. Tutored a Muxus, and did not make a land drop. Ooh, that land is huge. I can cast Fury here, draw 2 cards, kill their squad, have a 3/3, and then still have my pitch interaction up. That sounds great. Volcanic Island, cast Fury. Get to draw 2 off of that. 2 lands, bunch of bricks basically. Let this Yorion in exile looking good. The Solitude in my hand that draws 2 cards looking good. Opponent didn't have a land drop last turn. Let's see if they come up with the mana to even cast this Muxus here. Okay, there's that. They will be able to Muxus. I can interact with a Haste Lord or a Mana Donkey if they hit 1. There's the Muxus. Hit Battlecry Goblin, Matron, and Name Sticker Goblin. Do I want them to have mana here? I could just Solitude this thing. Yeah, I'm going to do that. I would like to constrict their most busted stuff and try to let these Beanstalks take over the game. Okay, Name Sticker Goblin fizzles, and Goblin Matron gets a tutor for the Remuxus. And they came up with a City of Traders somewhere along the way. I've got another Fury, though. What do I do with this? I can play Fury, draw 2 cards, kill a bunch of their stuff. That's the obvious play. I could cast the front and back sides of Uro and just have a 6/6 in play, gain 6 life, put 2 lands into play. I could even do that and pitch Fury. Yeah, I think I actually want to do the Uro thing. Uro. Another Fury, feeling good. We got to get to blue, blue, green, green here. Taiga gives me green, green, and then just any blue land off this. Misty is good. Tundra, sure. I'll leave a Solitude in my graveyard. I'm not sure if it matters, but that's what I've done. Another Solitude in hand. I like this party that we're having right now. I think I want to attack with Fury and see what they have to say about that. Yeah, that's fine. I get to trade with Muxus and then Fury off the rest of their board. If I draw a white card here, I have Solitude available. That didn't happen. Okay. Okay, I mean, not that it's trivial, but they basically have cast Muxus, see what happens, available to them here. I could die to this, easily. Or they could kind of whiff, or they could knock it through my 6/6. Lots of options here. There's the Muxus. Moment of truth. Oh, this looks like a nut draw. Or no, it's 2 name sticker goblins, but nothing to actually do with it. Well, they have 2 cards in their hand. Let's see what they are. Oh no, geez, that's a good one. That was a good one to be hiding in your hand this whole time. And casting me in Spirit Guide. Okay, they're all in. They can throw Muxus at Uro and kill Uro. They don't have a lethal fling here. They can't block. Uro will just come back if it's even worth throwing Muxus at it. They could also just Lava Axe me off one of these creatures. Yeah, they're just 5ing me. That's actually fine. I'm going to fetch the Indatha Triumph here, get my domain set up, and let's do this thing. I have to decide what the best way to do this is. I think I just attack with Uro first. Gain some life, put a land into play. Hit another Beanstalk. Does that help? I don't think so. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. One short of double spelling. But I do still have a land drop because this came in off Uro. I can cast Fury. And if I draw a land, also cast Solitude. And if I miss on the land, I'll just grab Yorion and pitch Solitude. Here comes Fury. Draw some cards. Didn't hit a land. Did hit a white card. Bombardiers and Name Sticker gone. This is a spot where if I knew my deck would hit RHINOS, I would cast the Ardent Plea. I think I'm casting the Ardent Plea. Is that crazy? No, I'm putting Yorion in hand, yeah. I just want to make sure nothing can go wrong here. And between Force of Will and Solitude and the 3/3 double strike in play, I think this covers most bases. Oh, did they draw a Ringleader? Yeah, they did. Jeez. Okay. They hit 2 Goblin Chieftains that they cannot cast right now. And they're packing it up. Hell yeah, that was awesome. Okay, the Up the Beanstalk half of the deck was pretty good there. We didn't see any signs of crashing footfalls in the deck. I'm going back in. The deck does not get better. No blue card to go with this force. I do like double Leyline Binding, but they don't cantrip, and I'm on the draw. I'm going to mulligan. Yikes. 2 powerful pitch spells, nothing to pitch to them. Do I think a 5 is going to be better? I think it has to be. Go to 5. Okay, keep. Bottom, RHINOS. Bottom, I think it's actually Uro. And let Ardent Plea be my powerful 3-drop. I just realized my opponent's name is Jace TMS in their username, and they're playing Goblin Stompy. That's Stolen Valor. Give that username to a blue mage. Chalice on 0. Okay, that's effective against half of my deck. And Battlecry Goblin. Okay. I did find land number 3. That's good news. Okay, just pumping the Battlecry Goblin. They kept this hand on the strength of Chalice of the Void. That's a deal. End step, I would like to get Rockrin Triumph. And then I can get Indatha with another fetch land, and that's domain. Fire Ice is tempting also. I'll see what they do this turn. Land number 3 coming in tapped after not really doing anything last turn. That's a relief. Yeah, they're just pumping the jam here. I am going to use this opportunity to exile Chalice of the Void with Leyline Binding, just in case my Ardent Plea hits RHINOS, because RHINOS are really good here. Binding. There might be a super Giga Brain play where I binding the Chrome Mox there and then fire the Goblin, because they clearly don't have a play. But I'm a coward. These lands do cast Ardent Plea already, as long as I have something to go with them. I have double white. I don't have double green. I'll get a Tropical Island. Moment of truth. Can we hit RHINOS? 50-50. I would much rather have RHINOS here. Heck yeah. We're just doing whatever we want, tutoring whichever card is best for our deck at any given time. Name Sticker Goblin with one card left in hand. And they saved their counter. They're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I don't really want to have to Solitude this, but I think I have to Solitude this. Like, I don't know, actually, if they were just going to dump a bunch into Battlecry Goblin, or if they were sandbagging a Muxus and making that uncounterable. But whatever it is, I'm not interested. Did they have Bombardiers? They did. Alright, yeah, that was pretty good. I can block this idiot, though. That doesn't work often. Sick. RHINOS cause trouble. Yeah, they're just taking 8, making my land drop, and I'm just going to fire the Bombardiers now. This is... I can't imagine any card they would play that I would care about more than Bombardiers, unless they like Muxus into a Haste Lord. But if they draw Muxus here, whatever, you deserve it, I guess. Alright, just played Ancient Tomb. They get some pumps out of this Battlecry Goblin. They need to attack with 6 total power. They can only get up to 5 here. And if they want the 5th power, no, they can tap the Cavern, that's right. Okay. Maybe I'm supposed to attack with 1 Rhino there and get the Exalted. Oh, Brazen Bar was busted. Okay. I was going to leave a blocker back. Now I'm just sending the squad. Okay, don't draw Muxus. Matron. Annoying. Oh, Chieftain. Probably the thing that pushes the hardest damage here. Or Name Sticker Goblin and dump all the men into Battlecry. There's a couple different ways to represent lethal. They have to decide which one plays around removal the best. Because I didn't wish for Yori on that turn, and I didn't leave a blocker back. They should read that I have something here. Broadside Bombardiers. Okay. Bombardiers resolves. Beginning of combat. Petty Theft the Bombardiers. They can't replay that. They haven't attacked yet, so they can't boast with it. I have lethal through what they have on board. 8 trample, too much. And we did it. All it took was hitting exactly the right 50-50 coin flip on every opportunity. Let's go. If you're looking to run a CEDH or 1v1 tournament, Eminence Gaming has your back with Command Tower. With Command Tower's intuitive tournament manager dashboard, you can handle decklist submission and player management with just a few clicks. Players just need to scan the event's QR code for access to the full tournament bracket, including seamless pairings and real-time standing updates. Take the guesswork out of tournament organizing. Try Command Tower for your next event. I'm on the draw against a player who said, "This time I know what Bomberman is," in the chat. I played Bomberman a little while ago, and they must have been the opponent who didn't understand the combo and just let me have it. That skill won't help them here, it turns out, but I'm glad they learned. I am just keeping this fair hand that hits its land drops and can play on basics if it has to. Bleeding on Misty Rainforest. Drawing it up the Beanstalk is nice. Yeah, one thing that I noticed when playing the Cascade Beanstalk deck is how much nicer it is to draw a Beanstalk than it is to draw a Rhino. Like, Beanstalk is just a card you're happy to have in your deck anyway. And Rhino is like, here's this embarrassing thing that takes 4 turns and telegraphs what my deck does. Ooh, opponent's in a little bit of a brainstorm lock over there. Okay, I don't think they would sandbag a Wasteland if they had any land to play at all. I was going to fetch basics, but now I'm off it. Just going to shove my spells. I get a Tropical Island here and play Beanstalk. I don't mind if they daze. Kind of hope that they do. Cool. That's gone. That's probably going to be their land drop next turn as well. Delver of Secrets. Okay. Mishra's Bauble. That's interesting that that card was available last turn to work through the Brainstorm lock, and they saved it. I think I'm just going to play Uro here, because that's the card I care the least about getting dazed. I'm going to get Savannah. Play Uro. This is the one I care the least about getting dazed, and if it resolves, I don't care about daze anymore ever. Cool. They did, in fact, have the daze. Glad I didn't go for the Teferi. Delver did not flip. Delver in for 1. I can just cast Uro now. Oh, that's so tempting. I think I actually want the Teferi, though. The now or never, use it or lose it nature of Teferi is just really powerful. And I'd rather have Uro when the dust settles if they do have a Force of Will in their hand. And if they don't have a Force of Will, this Teferi is going to cause trouble. Force pitching Brazen Borrower. You got it. Okay. We're just working slowly through the nonsense. Delver's still refusing to flip. Land number 2, they could Murktide here. I'm going to fetch the Indotha Triome in the end step, get my domain. Solitude rips pretty hard. I think I want to cycle Lauren Revealed, hit my land drop, and then play a Cascade thing. And I think it's way too late to be worried about Wasteland. Shardless Agent is better than Ardent Plea because it's a 2-2, even if they counter my Cascade thing. Up the Beanstalk. Solitude cantrips now. If it resolves, of course. Looks like they're gonna seek the Beast in response. Yes. Exiled Lightning Bolt, Scalding Tarn. You got it. Ooh, and they did have another forest pitching a Murktide. Surprising. But legal. Cool. And just all of this has been a distraction from the Uro that's waiting in my graveyard. That's actually the card I care about here. I wanted to cycle Lauren Revealed rather than play Otawara last turn because Otawara is a great answer to Murktide, which, until I found the Solitude, I didn't have an answer to. Channeler, playing that first so they can bolt and get a Surveil. There it is. Wow, that bolt's targeting me. They said, I don't care about your Shardless Agent. Delver doesn't fly yet. Okay. Interesting, going face like that. Oh no. Well, I don't have the mana to cast this Fury. I'm going to play Otawara and play Uro. If I find a red source, we're stable. I don't have to worry about Otawara anymore now that I have the Solitude. That Brazen Borrower is pretty cool. And I'll just attack for 2. Leave me with the Shardless Agent. I'm gonna swing with it. Look at me. I'm the beatdown now. Delver finally flipped, revealing a Brainstorm. Questing Druid. And they're not trying to brainstorm into Delirium. They're actually holding the squad back on defense. That's good for me. Their combat math could change a lot from one brainstorm. If they get this trigger, and if they get Delirium, that's +3 in the middle of combat. What if I were to Cascade and see what happens first? Beanstalks, RHINOS, what do we got? It's Rhino time. The other half of the deck emerges. I could do that again. That plays into Daze and taps me out of Brazen Borrower. And now Uro has Exalted. Well, Uro doesn't have Exalted, but Uro benefits from Exalted. Uro trigger, Force of Will, feeling good now. 17 life to work with, 2 removal spells in my hand. Big time lethal on board with these RHINOS. Here's the Brainstorm, multiple triggers, Questing Druid, Dragon's Rage Channeler. The fireworks begin now. Mill to Daze. Ponder. Getting another Surveil, getting another point on Questing Druid. This will be Delirium. They have not had a sorcery in all this time. Which mostly means Dragon's Rage Channeler can't block now, which I am the beatdown. They would need like land Price of Progress, but then the pop kills them if it resolves, which I'm going to fight over it. And that's usually not a main deck card. Did not shuffle. They like what they found. In Murktide is a big body that then takes Delirium off, so Dragon's Rage Channeler can block again. Unholy Heat targeting Uro. Do I want to Force of Will this? Probably. Yeah, I'm going to force pitching Ardent Plea. Brazen Borrower is still the more powerful standalone magic card between that and Ardent Plea right now. Okay, cool. We did it. That was fun. Just, they didn't quite have enough pressure, and my engines were good enough. There's enough must counters in the deck. That is kind of what we're trying to do. I love Fury and love Endurance in the matchup. I need to find 6 things to cut if I'm bringing in all of that. Teferi is actually pretty bad against this deck. I mean, it's hard to say Teferi's bad against anything, but he's not really great. I could just go 0 counterspells, 5 forces out, 6 creatures that interact with the board in. Then I am shields all the way down to Price of Progress, or a Blood Moon kind of thing. I do have some amount of life gain in my deck with the Solitudes and the Uros. Just cut a Teferi, bring in all these jerks, and just respect Price of Progress. I'll try it like this. Opponent said they don't mind losing to this because they get to experience the deck. Truly the box of chocolates of MTG, which is a great cut. I'm going to nickname this deck Forrest Gump now, because you never know what you're going to get. I am keeping this in. I have 2 interactive spells and a clock eventually. I can also play on basics pretty effectively. And having Fury and Leyline Binding in my hand makes it harder to play on basics, but I'm still going to do it. Suspend to Footfalls. You're on notice. I will someday have a threat. Dragon's Rage Channeler from the opponent out of a Scalding Tarn. Crashing Footfalls ticks down. Another one. Alright, you're on notice. Endless stream of threats coming someday. Delver of Secrets. Deck, please. If you love me at all, there's a red card in my near future. Red card off the top. Fire Ice even. Holy smokes, that would be sick. Okay. I can Ardent Plea off basics and make them start doing stuff. That works for me. Nowhere near this Fury. No red source or red card in sight. Crashing Footfalls, heck yeah. Hit the old 1/3 half of the deck. Because there's only 2 of those left, but all 4 Beanstalks are still there. Force pitching Flame of Anor. Good for you. I've been thinking about that card in Delver. The problem is that Delver's not a human anymore if it flips, so you're kind of betting against yourself by putting that card in Delver. But I am excited to see it. Leyline Binding costs 3 right now, which next turn I can cast while playing around Daze. Just spend 3 mana the honest way. Delver flipped Revealing Force of Will. More of that. Never happy about it. In for 4. Come on, red card. Endurance. Okay. And fetching basics. It's not free. It actually is a pretty big punish here. I simply cannot cast 2 of the powerful spells in my hand. But I've just hung out my first non-basic of the game. They are seeking a beast. And Seek the Beast exiles Flame and another Druid. I think I want to bind their Delver right now. This isn't a wizard. It's a shaman. Yeah, that's what I thought. Questing Druid is a wizard. Or no, it's a druid. What am I even talking about? Where are the wizards in this deck? What's going on over there? Is it just Delver? Is there Snapcaster in here? Multiple Flame of Anors. This was an expensive flip off Seek the Beast. They could try to seek more beasts. They could just try to draw 2 right now while the getting's good. But either way, one of these cards is going to burn off. Yeah. Yeah, they just drew 2 cards. They still have the Force of Will. They'll probably use that to fight over my Crashing Footfalls. I'm at 10 life, and now joining the game with a can of RHINOS. It's on the stack. It resolves. Cool. Solitude. The world's most awkward spread of nonsense here. I'm going to Petty Theft the Dragon's Rage Channeler right now. Yeah, that just takes pressure off. And they actually take way more damage to Price of Progress than I do. This Wasteland is annoying. That takes me off of Solitude with a land drop, but Endurance is live off of Fetchland. Here they can go Questing Druid, Dragon's Rage Channeler, and just be back on board all in one big hit. I wonder if they don't have a blue card for this force, or if they just didn't think those RHINOS were important. We're about to find out, because I have another can coming down. Do you think the second 8 power? I think they don't have a blue card. That's my read here. Okay. I can put Yorion in my hand so I can pitch Solitude, or I can send it on the Shardless Agent. I think I attack first, because that's happening. If they want to double block, I'm happy to trade one of my RHINOS for one of their creatures here. If they want to take 8, I'm okay with that too. And I think I want to send big Shardless. Can I hit the 1 more RHINO can in my deck, or is it time to start drawing? Because if I hit a Beanstalk here and it draws a red or white card, then I have a pitch removal spell that also draws off the Beanstalk. The engines are just layering on top of each other. What a thrill ride. I wonder if they have an engineered explosives or something like that. Oh, wow. They surgicaled my Footfalls in response. There's only 1 left. Now I have to hit Beanstalk, which is what I wanted to hit anyway. This rules. Yep, my Footfalls are gone. Cascading into a Beanstalk guaranteed this time. And if this draws a white or red card, we're cooking. Just a green card. Okay. I will pass the turn. I feel like I'm ahead, but my opponent, with their Force of Will in hand, has let multiple 8 power spells resolve. I have a feeling they can just clean these up. Either they can just clean these up in some clean way and they didn't care, or they can burn me out over the top, or they just never had a blue card the whole time. I did draw a green card to pitch to Endurance, which can brick this Dragon's Rage Channeler. They chose to shuffle the Ponder. Wasteland. You'll find no purchase here. Played around it. Hilariously, Price of Progress actually kills them and deals 0 to me. I hope that's in their hand. I hope they have 2 of them. We got the GGs in the chat. Just out-muscled Delver. You love to see it. On to the next round. This video is sponsored by Moxfield.com, the easiest way to build Magic decks online. Moxfield supports over 30 formats, including Legacy and everything else you'll see on this channel. There's multiple customizations so you can interact with your deck how you want. Views such as text, grid, or stacks. And groupings like type, subtype, color, color identity, even artist. The site offers light mode, dark mode, and so much more. However you want to see your deck, Moxfield can provide it for you. Follow my Moxfield to keep up with the channel and what I'm playing in paper. I'll see you there. I'm on the draw in round 3 against user Utopia Mycon, who my brain lit up with this is combo chemicals. I don't know why. I don't know if I'm thinking of the card Utopia Mycon or if I've actually played against this player and they're a combo gamer. I don't know. I'm just telling you, my brain did that. I don't know if it's true. I was right. Okay, force, pitching, Ardent Plea. It's almost always better to fight the setup spell. Whatever they were doing with a careful study, no thank you. Respectfully. And I forced the Ardent Plea over the Lorien Revealed because I knew I'd need land 3 to play this game. I just drew land 3, so that opens up my options a little bit. Citrus Supplier. All right, we got some Hogak, it seems. Build a Force of Will. I'm going to fetch Rockrin Triome here. Solitude, no white card. Okay. I can Brazen Borrower and then Violent Outburst in their end step or on their turn, then untap, and on my turn, and I could Violent Outburst on their turn too. Who knows? I have so many options available. They got land number 3 over there, slamming it and attacking for 1. Okay, I'm going to fetch Indotha Triome. Red, green. Okay, I actually forgot to check, but that does cast Violent Outburst. That's lucky. I guess it would kind of have to because of Domain. All right, first appearance of Omnath. Happy to see that. And I'm going to chill on this Violent Outburst. Orcish Bowmaster. Okay. Oh, shit. I was supposed to respond to that. Now if I hit Beanstalk, I actually kind of blew it. Prized Amalgam, Reanimate, Bloodghast. Yeah, whoops. Yeah, this is a spot where I would definitely rather have only RHINOS in the deck. Oh, they're convoking a Hogak from hand. Nasty. I do have Brazen Borrower and Solitude in my hand, though. I'm not without options here. Bloodghast from the grip. And I'm going to Violent Outburst in the end step and hope I hit RHINOS. Well, 50-50. They're all still in the deck. Punished. Yeah, I should have responded to Bowmasters with this. We got a that's not a Rhino can in the chat. It's true. They forced my Beanstalk, though, which opens up the runway for all kinds of shenanigans. I think what I have to do here is cycle Lorien Revealed for Tropical Island. That gives me green, green. Oh, I don't have blue, blue. This plateau just really jacking me up here. I have double white. I would like more green, though. And now I can Brazen Borrow Hogak for a turn. Just save some beats. I think that's the best way to use my resources here. And I do want them to commit to their attack. That way, they might not have black to convoke the Hogak back out. Like if I bounce before combat, they just don't attack with Orc Army and they can easily replay Hogak. Unfortunately here, a land also replays Hogak because they have Bloodghast in the graveyard. Prized Amalgam gets there too. And now I think I just try to draw a land. Land off the top, totally stabilized with Solitudes. Easy. Okay. I'm just going to pass here, let them attack into my Solitudes, and hopefully get a nice trade in combat. Come on, send the Bowmasters. Sending back in everything little, or everything big and nothing little. All right. They had the read. I have double red. I have green, green, and blue, blue. I think Tundra is the get. Solitude, make it happen. Eat the Hogak. And I think I take 5 here. I don't really want to trade with a thing that is going to just come back. I'd like to start attacking with Solitude and cast my other one next turn. Bloodghast comes back. They do have haste right now. Ooh, triggers Amalgam too. Nasty. Well, glad I didn't trade with either of those things. They would have been right back. Okay, if I attack now, I go to 10. And then I play Solitude, eat Prized Amalgam, take 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's a lot of damage. Still keeping the pressure up here. Kind of telegraphing that I have another Solitude by fearlessly attacking here. Still only sending the more durable creatures. Still the right call. Exile one of the Amalgams. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I go to 3. And I'm attacking back for gain 6. I'm going to go to 3. Uh-oh. That's a scary one. It hit Hogak. Of course it hit Hogak. Ugh. Okay, gonna need another Solitude real quick here. Touched a Dryad Arbor. Got plenty of stuff to tap here. Or actually, they have exactly enough to play Hogak here. Nice. Okay, deck. Force of Negation. That was never going to help. Okay, so if I play Omnath, it is a big creature. The draw will trigger Orcish Bowmaster. If I find a land, I can gain 4 life. If it's a fetch land, I can also Shardless Agent. I don't think this is getting better. White, red, blue, green. Come on, fetch land. Re-Omnath. All right, we're dead. I go to 2. I can gain 6. I don't think I can actually survive this combat. Of course, they milled an Omnath, or a Hogak last turn. Oh, they're not done yet. They're still casting spells. Grief, sure. Now they know I can't even do anything. He's still leaving Bowmaster back. I don't think I can survive this. So if I block here, and here, what happens? I take 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and I'm at 8. I cannot absorb any more damage than that. Yeah, that comes out to be the same. Stupid Hogak. All right, they got me good. Endurance comes in. Fury comes in. Force of Negation comes out. Honestly, the Up the Beanstalk seemed like among the worst cards here, because they've shown me Orcish Bowmaster is a card in their deck. And I think I shave an Ardent Plea. Just, I can go lower on Cascade things. And they specifically said that's not a Rhino can last game, but now it can only be a Rhino can. Okay, I can suspend a Rhino can. I have Pitch Solitude as a play. I'm going to keep this. Now they know. They've seen the Rhinos and the Beans. Got a little bit of everything. I'm getting griefed. Let's see if they have the rage within them to take my Lorien Revealed. I don't want to pitch Solitude to exile the grief, even though they might scam me here and reanimate. Because if they just don't have reanimate and they just cast Careful Study or something here, then I don't care. They did try to mana screw me. A reasonable option. Oh no. Okay, no red mana here. I could pitch Fire. I think I'd rather ice their land though, as far as using this card to move forward in the game. Ice the Underground Sea. Hopefully that slows them down a little bit. Drew a Force of Will. Not a bad card. Not a land, though. Crab will almost certainly target themselves. That's what the deck is for. Milled 3 cards that don't have graveyard synergy. Deal. Reanimating a Grief. All right. I'll force pitching to Fairy, even though I don't want to. Now my hand is just the Stains. A land gets me Yorion, which gets me Solitude. Should have been more specific. Okay. I have nothing going on. Shield's down and they know it. Perfect information. Rhinos don't arrive for 2 more turns. Hedron Crab. Milled a Prized Amalgam among important cards. Stern Dismissal. Bounces a creature or enchantment. Powerful card. Another Fire Ice. I would rather have Yorion. I do have to be careful with my elementals because they're a reanimate deck, and them taking my Fury would, in fact, make me furious. Bowmaster's here. 1, 2, 3, 4 toughness on their board. This Fury is pretty good. With 3 cards in their hand, they have to overcome my Can of Rhinos and my double pitch elemental worth of interaction. My setup is actually pretty potent here for how awkward this game has gone and how disruptive my opponent's been and missing my land drop and stuff. I'm actually playing just fine. Rhinos. Are your last card's Force Blue card? They are not. All right, we're in there. Leyline Binding costs 3 right now. That's everything. I think I want a Fury and take out the crabs. Oh, okay. Now they have a force blue card. Yeah, good call. Force pitching Stern Dismissal. And I'm going to hold on to this white removal. If they draw a fetch land, they might do some crazy stuff, but I can Leyline Binding a Hogak if they hit one. Not a fetch land. It is a land, though. Hit Bloodghast and 3 lands. Okay, their graveyard currently doesn't do anything. I'm still going to hold on to this Leyline Binding until it has something super juicy to kill. Because I'm pushing real damage now. Misty Rainforest, fetch land, busted. Alright, here comes the juice. Master of Death, Hogak. They decline their Bloodghast trigger. Interesting. And they have another land drop here right away. Interesting to decline it, though. I guess if you... They know I have Solitude, so they're probably just maximizing their ability to use Bloodghast for mana. Cool. 2 Amalgams trigger here. I'm going to bind the Hogak after it comes into play. Okay, they did the Bloodghast trick and then didn't use it for mana. The prized Amalgams trigger. There's 4 triggers on the stack, but only 2 Amalgams. They just triggered twice this turn. And I'm going to get rid of Hogak. Bloodghast can't block. The Amalgams are tapped. I'm at 16. How about a red card? Not a red card. 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 damage over there. Oh, I'm not dead on board. Gonna send it. Just slurping up some damage with their crabs. They go to 6 and I don't lose anything. And I have Pitch Solitude available in the case of an emergency. They can go to 4 and get these 2 Master of Deaths back in their hand. I'm not even sure how good that is. Because my creatures trample, a 3-1 isn't a big deal. That does have Enters the Battlefield Surveil too. That is 2 more looks at a Hogak. Oh, geez, the nuts. Drew a Stitcher Supplier, which hit Life from the Loam. Now this Master of Death has to Surveil into a Gak. Hit a Bloodghast. And I know their hand is Master of Death. Bloodghast is definitely going to attack because it can't block. See how much damage they want to push here. The answer is not much. And I'm going to fetch the Rockrin Triome. Open up the option of drawing a fetch land or red source to Fury their board away. Shardless Agent, guaranteed to be RHINOS in this situation. They have 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 toughness on board. They can clear my stuff. And if I attack, that guarantees a Stitcher Supplier. Whereas if I just cascade into more RHINOS, it's their responsibility to be on defense. I think I just pass here. I don't want to kill their Stitcher Supplier. Though every creature is an X1 other than the 3/3s. They all have the same power as they do toughness, so solituding one after blocks doesn't matter. I'm just going to pass. I feel like giving them a free death on their Stitcher Supplier is worse for me than just pushing a much better attack next turn. They get a Life from the Loam Dredge, and they have a Master of Death. Wow, they have Uro. Yikes. Okay, well, they just found a very good creature. I was not ready for that. I'm not going to lie. And that thing is worth a lot of life, both when I plow it and when it enters the battlefield. Yeah, they can even cast Life from the Loam, make their land drop, pick up 2 wastelands, start wasting me off mana. Oh no, that Uro. This deck is so cool. I mean, it's not like attacking last turn changes their ability to do this. I still think I assessed the race correctly, but this Uro is some horse hockey. Okay, here's Uro. Gets to put in a wasteland. Now Fury is off the table unless I draw a red card. Definitely not casting any of this shit. Dredged Loam and didn't hit anything important. Okay. Drawing a red card is the best thing I can do here, I think. Or Leyline Binding is also really good. Brazen Borrower is really good. Fire Ice is really good. I have some good draws. That wasn't one of them. Okay. If I send all my Rhinoceroses in, they're at 7. They go to 13 when I Solitude the Uro. This is 16 damage. And they can easily absorb that, but I think that is the play that I have to make. Does attacking with Shardless Agent help? I think that's an easy trade for Master of Death in a way that I'm not really interested in. Sending the Rhino Squad. I'm not going to Solitude before blocks, because my creatures have Trample, and I just want to make them to think about all the things they need to think about here. Okay, I can choose not to kill Stitcher Supplier with this Rhino, but then I don't get to push any damage. I could deal all 4 to Master of Death, but then I don't trample over either. I think I just want to make their board go away. Solitude, exile Yorion, exile the Uro. They're going to stay at 7 life here. I keep 1 Rhino, and they lose everything except the Bloodghast and Dried Arbor. You know, a lot of this comes back pretty easily, which I don't love. But we're still doing it. And they do have 8 cards left in their deck. Tropical Island, which does not cast Fury. There is no draw in my deck that results in me hardcasting Fury this turn. They get 2 Master of Death triggers. I know their hand is Wasteland Loam and 1 mystery card. They took back 1 of the 2 Masters of Death. There it is. They get to see slightly more than a quarter of their deck here. I hope there's not a Hogak in the top cards. That's what I'm worried about here. Hitting Hogak here turns on all those prized amalgams I just cleared. Bloodghast does the same thing. Just gotta hope it's like 2 lands, 2 bricks in the top of the deck. I need them to get a little unlucky here. They put Careful Study and Bowmaster in the graveyard. Okay, so they took the Mildew to find more action. There's 3 mana in the pool. We're about to see whatever the unknown card is in their hand. It's an Amalgam, down and dirty. Okay. There's the Wasteland we knew about. Probably going to take out Endotha Triome. Yes. Okay. A red card off the top wins me the game. Come on, any red card. Boseiju does not win me the game. They have to block. All right, so they have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 damage. Yeah, I guess I just attack with Rhino, because if I attack with both, they just block with Prized Amalgam, and then they win on the backswing, and they go to 2. Yeah, I'm in trouble here. The scrappy Bloodghast beats are going to get it done, I think, unless I can draw another Cascade spell, get my last can of Rhinos in. I guess I have 2 cans left. Bloodghast have haste here. They should know what's left in their deck. The deck is so thin, just dredging Loam can basically be kind of a deterministic line. Right, Master of Death. They found a Hogak and a Prized Amalgam. They play Hogak. It triggers all 4 Amalgams are in the graveyard right now. Or it's just 3. No, that's the one that died. Okay. Well, that should be the end of this. I don't have a sweeper in the deck. I can't interact favorably with these Bloodghasts. Was I just supposed to not attack last turn? Try to deck them? Was that a real thing? No, I can't do that, because then if I block a Bloodghast, it brings all their Master of Deaths back. They just have their engine online, and I don't have any graveyard hate. And they can keep wastelanding me. That was so sick. All right, they got me. Yeah, that Uro Wasteland turn, the Light from the Loam, pick up 2 Wastelands, also play Uro, waste you, was exactly what got them over the finish line. Really cool deck. The first time it's really caught up to us that we had 2 different Cascaders in the deck. Game 1, if I hit Rhinos, they ended up Force of Willing anyway, but I would have rather had Rhinos, consistent access to them in that game. On to the next round. The official BoshNRoll Island Ponder Keep shirt is available exclusively through Coalesce Apparel. This Magic player-owned business is a staple of our community. They keep this channel on the air, and it's my pleasure to partner with them for this product. Coalesce is the best Magic apparel on the market. They have awesome new designs coming out all the time. Use code BoshNRoll to get 10% off your order, only at coalesceapparel.shop. On the play in round number 4, this hand needs a 3rd land, but I'm going to rock with it. I play a bunch of lands. I play a Lorien, 2 Lorien Revealeds. Give myself a chance to operate here. Opponent said, hello, YouTube. Everyone say hi. Morrison90. Flooded Strand. Volcanic Island Delver. Okay. Getting put to the test immediately on if I can hit this land drop on time. Yuck. Okay. Well, I'll just play this Boseiju and hope that they don't have Wasteland, I guess. Delver flipped, revealing Force of Will. Perfect. I was about to say, at least the fail case here is I could pitch Omnath to Fury and kill their board. But that's no longer the fail case. That's now necessary into Force of Will. Come on, land. Land to do it? Oh no, it is a land, but it doesn't actually cast my spell. That's so annoying. Well, I can fetch Tundra and play Uro, at least. I could play Tundra, or I could Leyline Bind. I think Uro's better. And I would love if they Force of Will this. Okay, no force. Come on, Uro. Keep them coming. Let's go. we're back in this game. Indatha Triome does get me Domain here. Obviously, I can't use it now because that card comes into play tapped. They found a land and it was not a wasteland. Milled a Molten Collapse on their trigger. The damage is coming in. And I think I do want Domain here. Okay, Indatha Triome. Does that make any sense? Should I have just gotten Rockman Triome? Okay, maybe it doesn't matter. Unpunished. Okay, what I'm going to go for here is Ardent Plea and see if they want to fight over this. I suspect they might force a can of RHINOS. Or maybe they'll ignore it. I don't know. We'll find out in a second here. Fetching in response. I did not play out my land. I hope they don't have Spell Pierce in their deck. That would be super annoying. Brainstorm in response. Okay. This will be 3 card types with the Brainstorm. Did not mill it. Force of Will exiling Murktide Regent. Okay. Ardent Play resolves. Now I have kind of a runway to shove this Fury. Unfortunately, if I Leyline Bind, I am going to Leyline Bind. All right. I'll do it on their turn, though. And I will let them draw first. This is all kind of bait anyway. We get Savannah. Oh, that should have been Plateau. What am I doing? I'm just thinking about Uro and not the Fury in my hand. Fast and loose, baby. Fetch a Savannah. That should have been a Plateau. Binding. Take out the DRC. That's the one with additional text on it. And now I will hope to draw a fetch land because I fetched the wrong land. Oh, okay. Wasteland messes me up pretty good. Took me completely off blue. That's embarrassing. Well, luckily Fury sweeps their whole business up here. They get to keep an orc army behind. Red Source? I don't deserve it. Oh, I don't think I have one anyway. Oh no, there's a Volcanic Island in the deck. Okay. Do I play around Daze? Do I just shove? I can't shove Omnath. Omnath does trigger Orcish Bowmaster. I can pitch Omnath to Fury, or I could just cast Fury. I'm going to cast Fury. It might get dazed, but the upside here is so huge. Sometimes your cards just resolve. Fury or Squad. Feeling good. Fury with Exalted is pretty nice. Double Strike, getting a little extra value. Mishra's Bauble. Bobbling me. Molten Collapse. I think Omnath is better than Fury as far as forcing that. On fetch land off the top. Opponent's got 1 card in their hand. It can't be force and blue card. Oh, right. They had a bobble trigger. It can be force and blue card. Green, red, blue, white. Omnath. Taking the high roll here, trying to spike the land. We didn't get there, but I do have Omnath in play. And I can cast this Solitude in the future. They've used 2 Molten Collapse already. I don't know how many of those they're going to have. Wasteland, always good against me. Fighting off my blue again. With Omnath around, that's a lot worse than it was just a moment ago. All right, Wish for Yorion. I don't have blue to cast any of the cards in my hand. I am winning the race here. They're on a 4-turn clock. I'm on a 7. Plus I have Solitude to change the math if I need to. Oh, right. Lightning Bolt's a card they play. All right. I'm on a 4-turn clock. I still have Solitude and Force to change the math if I need to. And any land drop just makes it over. I think if I gain 4 life here, they can never catch me unless they play a Murktide. Well, there's Murktide. I'm going to Force of Will that, pitching Shardless Agent. I'm still able to force some negation of Bolt if this was bait. And if I just draw a land, we're good. Come on, land. Oh yeah, fetch land even. Ding, ding, ding. I gain 4 life. I attack for 5. I play Uro second main. I don't think they'll be able to catch up from here. I'm actually going to intentionally hide my basic lands. I have not played a single basic land this game, and I'm into that. They're scooping to the Uro. Cool. Okay. Just big cards slamming on top of Delver, as it's meant to be. And as far as they know, I don't play any basic lands. Oh, I actually don't know what I cascaded past. They might have seen some basics. Maybe I do still have... maybe I don't have any secrets after all. I think this is close to what I did last time. I'm not convinced I want the forces. I think I can beat Price of Progress other ways, which is the only card I'm actually worried about. Okay, 2 lands, suspend a Rhino, Cascade eventually. I'll keep it. The mana is not stable in this hand, is my criticism of it. The pitch interaction's pretty good, though. I'd love to draw access to basic forest. Let me just draw a Misty Rainforest here. That would be great. Shardless Agent. All right, I'm playing Beseiju, suspending Footfalls, passing. Didn't have a Wasteland. Second DRC. And Ponder gets to look at 5 cards. Powerful stuff. Going to Pyroblast and a land. They have found Delirium. Okay, basic land available now. I can get basic island, basic plains. No access to basic forest here. I think I just don't get to do that, unfortunately. And I'm going to send Fury in. I need to take some of this pressure off. This is not optional here. They had the Force of Will. Good stuff for them. Bad for me. Uh-oh, Stifle revealed out of your deck. I don't like that one bit. I don't think I'm going to play around it, but I don't like it. I would like to assemble Hardcast Endurance on this turn cycle with my lands. Don't waste me, bro. Delver. I think I get Rockrin Triumph here. I mean, if they have a Wasteland, it's going to get me no matter what. I can't play on basics at this point. Then I can fetch Taiga or Savannah with this Arid Mesa to get Endurance. I'm going to wait till combat. It gives them one more chance to draw a Daze. Gives them a lot more chances to find a Daze. We're going to find out if this Delver flips, though. And it probably will. They just looked at multiple cards. Revealing Lightning Bolt. Okay, can I actually win here? If I fetch him at 6, if I play Endurance and block, I'm at 4. Okay. I mean, I'm not stable, and it sucks. But I do have a play. Fetch, and I think I should get the white land here. Okay, bolting in response is great for me. Yeah, Savannah looks better. Green-blue, I could play Shardless Agent or Violent Outburst. Yep, Savannah. Looks good. That gets me closer to the Solitude that I'm going to need if we ever stabilize this game. Endurance U. Block the Delver. And now, hard mode. Let's go. I'm at 1. Dead to a Bowmaster at any time. Dead to a Bolt at any time. Can't actually use this fetch land, but I will put it into play. Shardless Agent can at least block if they don't get Delirious. All right, Footfalls. Big beats. And I need them to fail to get Delirium anyway, so Endurance is going to attack. The reach doesn't matter if they have 2 lethal attackers. No attacks, just passing the turn. Can of RHINOS coming off suspend here. Suddenly, and they have a lot of game-winning top decks, but we are driving. Force pitching Murktide Regent. This is a bunch of extra looks at Lightning Bolt or Bowmaster. I need them to just mill all the cards because there's so many game winners. They did mill them both. Ooh. Okay. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Yeah, okay. I think they're just dead here. To the printed text of Violent Outburst. Cascade, Agnostic here. +1/+0 the squad. RHINOS. Bang. Man, these RHINOS turn the corner fast. That was wild. I was not convinced I was going to win that one. On to the final round. We're a few rounds into the video. Thanks for sticking with me. Friendly reminder that if you're still here and having fun, smash that subscribe button. And if you want to play what I'm playing, you can use my affiliate link for TCG Player to support the channel while you shop for cards, and you can try any deck anytime with a cardhoarder.com loan account for Magic Online. All these links are in the video description below. Now back to the league. I'm on the draw in the final round against Testacular, who is a known Elves expert. This hand has turn 2 Leyline Binding, turn 3 Teferi to kind of gum stuff up. This might be way too slow, but I think it's fine. I would snap this hand off on the play. I don't know if that means it's bad or if it just means... I don't know what it means, but I'm keeping it. And that is a slow start from our pal over there. We may have been deceived, and he's not actually on Elves, but we'll find out soon. Ooh, we've been deceived. A dirty trickster. Let's see what this means. We got some bug. Wow, look at this. Sell out playing my deck. Oh, bug Beanstalk. I'm a little worried to fetch now because this is a Wasteland deck. I'm just going to take my draw. All right, try to get some fireworks going next turn. Because I can just fetch Taiga Tundra, play Leyline Binding for the 2 mana that I have, and then untap and cast a 3-drop, maybe even Teferi. Up the Beanstalk, resolves. Wasteland confirmed, hate that for me. Maybe I just pivot onto basics and start doing Rhino activities. All right. Oh, the nuts. Plains, Island, Forest. Let's go. Plains, Forest. I am pretty worried about the Force of Will, draw 2 cards, bury me in action game plan that double Beanstalk allows to occur. I have very little faith in this Teferi resolving, and I am going to lead on Chartless Agent because it's a 2-2 at the end of the day, which is better than Ardent Plea. Hitting the Beanstalk, pretty interesting here too. Because if they read this as a Yorion Beanstalk matchup, it had a Daze, sure. 2/2 sticks. Pass the turn. I do have a basic mountain in my deck if I want to go full crazy here. There's the Trot back. Wow, the 3rd Beanstalk. Opponent is living my dream. This is how Elves players die and blue players are born. I was a diehard Elves player for a long time until I registered Grixis Delver in a tournament. And then I have not played Elves very much since then. I wonder if Testacular's on the same arc. Okay. I can play Ardent Plea. Yeah, I'm going to keep doing double spell worth of value up the Beanstalk. Still haven't seen any RHINOS from me. This could still be just a Yorion Beanstalk mirror, for all they know. Correctly did not lead on Teferi. And now I get to bash for 3. That was card advantage. My opponent forced pitch Daze and drew a card off of the exchange. Yeah, I could probably outmuscle 1 Beanstalk, maybe 2. 3 is just bonkers. I do have double Leyline Binding, though, and this deck doesn't have that many win conditions in it. If this is just the 4 Bowmaster 4 Murktide build. Here is the first of the Murktides. Draws 3 cards. 9 cards in hand. Opponent will likely have to discard a hand size. It's like they didn't even draw cards. Gated by the rules of the game. That's the only thing that can stop a Beanstalk deck. The game engine. Oh, just shoving a Bowmaster. Disappointing. That was a correct and good play. Discarded a Wasteland. That's good. I have sufficiently tricked them that I'm not a Wasteland deck. If I fetch my basic mountain, I can fire a Leyline Binding for 2. Basic mountain. Leyline Binding for 2. Tapping the red. This leaves the most options up as a follow-up. Eat this Murktide. And I can attack for 3. I don't think there's any universe where I read that as they don't have Force of Will. I'm going to suspend a Rhino and not make my land drop. It just dies to Wasteland without me playing a spell off it. Unless I want to Leyline Bind this Orcish Bowmaster that currently doesn't do anything. It is actually plausible to deck a Beanstalk player who has too many beans and no action. Opponent's also at 11 life right now, down to 10. I got choices here. Got plays to make. Mystic Sanctuary targeting Brainstorm. That's surprising to me. Are those 7 cards in hand discarded down from 9? Like, they've seen so many cards. It's wild that Brainstorm would be something that they're interested in here, rather than saving that Mystic Sanctuary for another time. And we'll find out. I mean, they know their hand better than me. Bowmaster is powerful. That makes Omnath quite a bit worse. Makes Teferi a lot worse. A 3rd Bowmaster. Okay. Pushed all the damage face. Could have dealt with Shardless Agent there and chose not to. Rhino stick down. Someday. Okay. I think I play the Teferi here. The Teferi is so mediocre versus triple Bowmaster that they might be convinced to let it resolve. And then I can surprise them with a actual spell. And I think you just force, because force doesn't work anymore if there's a Teferi. Like, it's kind of a sucker's bet to try to fight over that. I'll play my Savannah. It's finally time to drop that in. And I'm going to Leyline Binding the Orc army. I hate that they get to daze this. Okay. Didn't happen. And now I have a Leyline Binding with nothing under it. If this game ever gets to the point where Yorion is a card I can cast, that's a removal spell waiting. There's that Brainstorm. 9 cards in the hand. Not close to decking. I think they'll be able to figure this out. If I had a Supreme Verdict in my deck, or something like that, that could clear all this out, no questions asked, and then Murktide just choose up their deck if they choose to play one. That's a different universe that we don't currently live in. Fatal Push. Got me. Yeah, this Omnath, who would normally be like, YOLO, we've always got a chance if we have Omnath, the draw card trigger on ETB is just so heinous. Murktide. God, triple Beanstalk. Outrageous Magic the Gathering being played here. Nobody can actually beat this. It's never been done. Nobody's ever beaten 3 Beanstalks in play. Okay. That one is over. Their engine was much better than mine, it's safe to say. I like Force of Vigor versus Beanstalks. The bug build, unfortunately, does not have leyline bindings for me to beat up on. I don't like Force of Negation. Force of Will might be necessary, even though I don't like it. Endurance has text. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to beat this deck in a Force of Will fight. Fury is really good against Bowmasters. Burrow is just really good in general against their deck. I think I want all my Endurances and 2 Force of Vigors. And what are my cuts to make this make sense? Ardent Plea is the most medium of the Cascade spells. I could cut another one to get a Fury in here. Yeah, I'll try this. Let's do it. Keep. I'm just playing on basics here. I have access to all 4 of my basic lands in my opening hand. Put these RHINOS on layaway. Mystic Sanctuary tapped. I'm not playing that Tundra where they can grab it. I'm going to play Misty Rainforest and fetch a basic before they're showing me Stifle. I guess Stifle doesn't matter though, because they can stifle my Cascade trigger. Stifle's going to get me basically anytime. We got a Beanstalk right on schedule. Oh yeah. Living the dream. They are a Daze deck, and I would like to respect that. I think I just put Yorion in my hand here. Fetch the basic mountain, put Yorion in hand. I don't want to make it too easy on them. And Violent Outburst is not a real spell. In this case. It did win us a game in this league already, the actual text on the card, but where Shardless Agent leads a body behind and stuff. Violent Outburst is nothing of the sort. Leovold's an asshole. Now cascading into Beanstalks is just a stone brick. Or that's not true. I can draw on their turn, and Violent Outburst lets me do this instant speed. I think this is worth giving potential Bowmaster value. Ponder, go ahead. Did not shuffle. Have to imagine there's some interaction over there. We'll see if they care. I mean, RHINOS will force some action, but Beanstalk, they can just let happen. Heck yeah, hit the RHINOS. Just how we drew it up. We're going to have to interact here. Force of Will is a cantrip, but at least we made them do it. Okay, you did it. And that's a force that they won't have for the footfalls on my upkeep, which I am now casting. Didn't stifle the trigger. I appear to have some RHINOS. That's lucky. I'll play Plateau because I care less if that gets wastelanded. Then I can Outburst on their turn again. Children's Edict. Each opponent sacrifices a creature token. Chose the correct mode. I fear the day where I misclick that and my opponent just doesn't have to sacrifice a creature because I chose the wrong type of creature. Wasteland has arrived. Ponder. I think it's right to let this resolve. It gives them more looks at an answer to whatever comes out of my Outburst, but I don't know, I feel like Yorion can go big eventually, and I have enough powerful top decks in my deck that it's okay to try to fish counterspells out of their deck. This looks like a Murktide, though. Indeed it is. I'm going to Outburst over the top of the Beanstalk trigger. Up the Beanstalk of my own. Can I draw a card? Is it allowed? We're in there. Drawing cards like crazy. Fury. And their Leovold is now a problem. I think I will have to try to deal with it on their next turn. I could just cast Fury on my turn. Leovold would get one last feast on my Up the Beanstalk trigger. Tundra. I think I try to bind the Murktide Regent and just ignore Leovold for a turn. And I do it on their turn. So I get a card off Beanstalk. They're sitting on this wasteland. It smells like a Bowmaster. Hate that for me. I still think it's right to try to draw the card on their turn with binding. If this Fury works in the future, then we're in good shape. I'm going to fetch Indoth Triome and spend 1 mana on this Leyline Binding. I draw a card, Bowmaster triggers, Leyline Binding hits Murktide, Leovold triggers. The binding did resolve. They could Force of Vigor. Nope, they don't have double green, and it is their turn. So the Murktide will at least leave play. But Force of Vigor should be in against the 5-color Beanstalk decks. You really want it to hit bindings and Beanstalks. So I suspect it's in the deck somewhere. Whether they have one right now, whether they have the mana to cast it if they do, all to be determined. Okay, no attacks there. I am going to try to send this Fury. Oh, Fire Ice is really good too. I could play Teferi, see if it resolves, and then pitch Fire Ice to Fury, then lock in my profits. Yeah, I think this is actually worth doing. Because if I just cast Fury, they can A, just Force of Will it, and then B, as I target Leovold and Orcish Bowmaster with Fury, they get to draw multiple cards. So they pitch cast that Force when they could have hard cast it. What does that mean? They have another one? I don't know. This Leovold is not allowed to exist. I have to make a move here and just hope that they don't have anything. I'm not beating this thing if it stays in play. The only reason I'm even in this game is because we both have a Beanstalk, but mine only works under specific conditions, and theirs is just firing at all times. So Fury has resolved. They are going to get to draw 2 cards off these Leovold triggers, but gotta take my medicine somewhere. I don't think the deck has innovated like an Ottawa or any way to save this Leovold. Oh no. Stifle! Yeah, I mean, that's been in the deck. I'm ready to concede to that. Okay. Yep, I'm buried by that. I'm not getting out of it. Okay, a positive record with this deck, and honestly, it was fine. We had a lot of fun interactive games, and it held its own against Delver. I mean, we smushed Delver twice. That feels good. I do feel from my experience that my hypothesis was correct. I would rather know I'm hitting Footfalls or know I'm hitting Beanstalk and sculpt my whole deck, both in deck build and play, around what I know is going to happen when I cast my spells. I don't even mind a true random Cascade deck, like a Bloodbraid Elf into Shardless Agent into Ponder or Beanstalk or Lightning Bolt, or like, I wouldn't even mind that sort of fair Cascade strategy. The issue is that Up the Beanstalk is just such a different card than Crashing Footfalls that it is, unless the board is stable and you don't care which one you get because they're both fine. There was a bunch of spots where it's like Violent Outburst in combat, hope I have blockers and not just draw a card. Or my handful of pitch spells, I would really like an Up the Beanstalk to be able to cash them in, and we end up with some 4/4s instead. Those spots are not great, and it's just kind of unfocused deck building. And I believe Something Sassy knew that when I was sent the challenge. Like, it's all good, we were just trying something for science here. Positive record did happen. I remain impressed by the Cascade engine in a Yorion Shell in Legacy. Whether it's cascading into Beanstalks or cascading into RHINOS, even this one where it's diluted and we're doing a little bit of both, there is a lot of late game staying power in these elementals. They're really good at keeping you alive early and winning the game late. As long as you can cast them and you're still alive that long, you're in pretty good shape. And I'm going to leave this one here. This was Something Snazzy's Crashcade Up the Beanstalk Cascade deck. Everyone, thanks for watching. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, check out the Patreon, and I'll see you next time.